everybody, it's Brooke, and Happy New Year. I think this will be the first video you're seeing in 2025. Ooh, can you believe it? I hope your year has gotten off to a dandy start and that it continues to be that way. And yes, it's the second day of January, and guess what? I haven't made my creative daily journal. Shocker, right? So here I am to do that, and I'm trying something a little different because I'm using what I had and trying something. I love making digitals. I love digitals, period. But I also love journaling in a composition book. So I pulled out one of my Walmart composition books. This does have a vinyl cover, which I'm not that thrilled about, but it's a grid, and I love a grid. So I'm going to use this as my base, but I think this time I am going to mix in my own digital, which is Snowy Winter, and this is available over on the Facebook group for free. Come and join us, get your own freebies, and I thought that would be fun to see which one I like journaling on better, if I can like alternate, or I don't know how it's going to work, but this is what I'm trying for January, and this is the Snowy Winter pages. I love this one. Very textured looking. So that's pretty cool. And that's what I'm going to do, I believe. Here's another one. Just some lace. Some interesting layered things. This we need to sort of distress around the edges because it's a wrinkled, torn piece of paper. So I've got those out. And my composition book. I also have some Finnibair tissue paper that I'm going to try to decoupage onto the cover of our composition book, just to get kind of a base to collage more on top of. So I grabbed that out, and some cool fabric that I've had forever. It's a little brighter blue, not terribly brighter, but some brighter than the pages, but I think I can live with it. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do the spine. So as usual, I'm making this up as I go along. And I'm super sorry. I thought I had, oh yay, my hands are good. I won't freak anyone out in the videos. And then over Christmas, I decided to attack Mark with one of those wrapping paper rolls, the cardboard rolls. How many of you remember doing that as kids? You always had to have a war when there was an empty one. And so I snuck up on Mark to attack him, and served me right. Hit my hand on the table. Just what I deserved. So it was only a little tap, but that's what happens. That's what happens. I've got baby skin, so I'm just looking for the center of my composition book so we can yank out these stitches. This is it. This might be it. Nope, one more. I've just marked sets of pages back here. That's all those Post-its are, so I don't have to count it and count it and count it. You look like you want to be the middle. I know we can find it. I know we can. Shouldn't be that hard, should it? I'm kind of looking down here at the bottom to see if I can see where everything folds. And it's being tricky. Looks like it really should be there, but it's not. Oh wait, maybe it is. Maybe it is. These old eyes. So I'm just going to fold it back like this. Composition books are nice and flexible and forgiving. And then I'm going to go in with my craft knife and pull some of those stitches. So I'm going to take the whole thing apart and then put it back together. And that always works well. Kind of an extra step, but it's all right. If you want to get some different pages and different textures and whatnot in there. Plus I usually put in a pocket so that I can put all my stickers and have, my day and dates and everything, and things I definitely want to include right there in the journal. Makes it a lot easier. Pull some of those out. Going right along. Got a few more to pull right here. Another thing that works pretty well if you have one is a Cricut picker thing. You can get right under there and pull those. That one doesn't want to come out, but that's all right. We'll make it. So then we'll set this flat, and we can start pulling these pages. There we go. So I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking, is that I'm going to do January, February, and March in this book. Is that just folly? Yes, it may very well be. I haven't decided yet. I just don't know. I really haven't decided anything. Can you tell that? Yeah. Okay, so there we have all of the pages pulled out nice and neat. Just going to go ahead and pull these threads out. Oh, they're taped in under the binding. Ha. Ooh, almost got it in one. All right, cool. So we've got that. Now, if I'm going to do all 3 months, I am going to need to expand this spine. I like to just use the spine that's in there, but I don't think it's going to be wide enough for 3 months. What should we do about that? Okay, guys, I'm back. I had a little think, and well, it was kind of a big think because I got very indecisive. But I'm going to do another soft fabric spine like I did on my December daily because I really liked how that worked out. I will leave a link to that video right up there. The idea was originally the inspiration was Carol Laws, and she'll be linked down below too. But what I've done is after we cut out all the guts of the book, I measured the length of the spine, and then I cut some of my fabric. Two rectangles that are 1, 2, 3.5 inches wide and the same height as my composition book, which is about 9 3/4. So I cut 2 rectangles like that, and then just a strip of cotton batting, which is right here. It's supposed to be 1.5 inches, but it's a little wonky, and I don't care. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is put down my craft mat because this is going to get messy. So we'll put that down. I probably could iron my fabric too, but by the time we mess around with it and glue and do all that, it'll be fine. So I'm just going to put some Fabri-Tac on here. I'm not worried about a ton because this is going to be sewn. Just, enough that it won't wiggle around in there. Ooh, my Fabri-Tac is getting very thick. What is your deal? Wipe its little nose and see if that helps. Okay, so then we'll go ahead and put this down, kind of center it the best we can. Wow, I feel like I haven't crafted in months. Those winter holidays really slowed me down. And now we will put some down here. Again, just to kind of tack it. I'm going to have to change the thread in my sewing machine. I still have Christmas red in there. I don't think that's going to work for me. I think winter is going to be blue and tan and gray, maybe some purple. All the colors that are not red. And then we'll put this one on top, lining it up, smooshing it down. I put a light enough application of the Fabri-Tac down that it's not soaking through, so that's excellent. Turn it over this way. Now I'm just going to set this aside and let it dry. Put this away, and now we're going to do surgery on our cover. Now at this point, because I'm ending up covering my, or cutting out the spine of my composition notebook, I could go ahead and use something different so I don't have to deal with the vinyl, but I don't think I'm going to. This is already cut. It's pretty firm. It's the right size, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just use this and hope for the best. Hope something will stick. And what I'm going to do is cut out right along the spine that's in the book, and I can see that. It's folded, so I can see where those lines are. And I'm just going to slice those off. I may live to regret this, but what are you going to do? Live and learn. And my craft knife. So I hope everybody had super fantastic holidays. We did. It was great. We're still trying to recover a little bit. It was very, very busy. So many things to do, so many places to go, so many people to see. Very fun, but we got kind of worn out. So I had a wonderful time, but I am ready to start the new year and have it be a little quieter for a bit. Okay, so those guys are sliced out now. That's cool. And we have our two covers. Oh, look, that's not very straight, is it? Let's go ahead and try to straighten that out. You know how I am. It may or may not get straighter. Maybe. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Let's just try it. If nothing else, I'm going to get my first couple pages set up so that I can journal in them. Even if I don't have the cover ready, I can at least do my journaling for the last few days. And that would be good so I don't get behind. Because one of these days, I swear I'm going to finish a journal. I swear it. Okay, so now we have our two pieces. And I'm thinking, how's this guy doing? See, that's going to be really nice. You're going to do it like that. Or are we going to do it like this? Either way, we'll be able to see that fabric on both sides. Might do it with the rough edges on the outside this time, just for fun. Don't know, but it's still drying, so we're not doing anything yet. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this collage paper, the tissue paper, to stick on this very shiny surface. Probably shouldn't have put my gunky mat away yet. I've got my little sanding block. I thought that might encourage it some. Just thought I'd do all kinds of mixed media all over the cover, just because it's fun. Okay, let's see. I'll get my paper towel out, wipe off some of that dust. Does feel more textured, so maybe it will stick on. That would be good. We shall see. All right, so here's this. Sorry, I know it's glary. This is our front cover. Let's start with it. Oh, not the hiccups. Oh, dear. Okay, so I've got my Tim Holtz Distress Collage Medium. Let's find what piece of tissue we would like to use. Oh, I've got two here. Fun. I think I want butterflies. I'm not feeling butterflies today. Not a butterfly-ish time of year here in Maine. I like this piece, but it's got red on it. I'm all set with red right now, peeps. Well, kind of like these folks. Now, I know that the grid is going to show through, so you know what we should probably do first is throw down a little gesso. Probably would behoove us. Okay, got my gesso out. Do I have a brush? That would be good. Must have a brush, right? There's a brush. I knew I had one. And I just have my gesso in one of the icing bottles, like from Michael's, or a condiment bottle, rather, not an icing bottle. Although I suppose it would work. No. Well, that's hardly covering it at all, is it? Not helpful. Not helpful. And I know that my microphone will not kill the heat tool noise anymore. So I'm going to go ahead, pause you, dry this, and then try another layer. This is vinyl, as I said, so I'm going to be very careful drying it. But I'm going to dry it and put on another layer or two. You don't need to watch that. It's boring. I'll be right back. Hey, everybody. It's Future Editing Brooke here. I got so discombobulated that I had a squirrel moment, and I did not press the unpause button when I was done drying everything. So what you missed was me drying 3 layers of gesso, and then I decoupaged the tissue paper on the front and back covers, and it stuck just beautifully. And then I sandwiched those covers in between the 2 pieces of fabric on the front and the back and stitched all the way around that fabric, which I will show you in just a minute. I'm back again. It's been about an hour and a half, and I let everything dry some more, and then I went in, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me pull it up closer to the camera. I picked out this trim and just cut it and glued it on there, and then I went around and zigzag stitched, zigzag stitched all the way around, sides, top, and bottom. And that was with my covers sandwiched in between the fabric. And then I went ahead and put on end papers. They got a little crooked there. It's fine. I do wish I had put these down before I had sewn, but this is for me, so I'm just not going to worry. But I love how it looks. It's nice and squishy and fun. And I did double check to make sure my pages still fit. And because this is such a soft spine, see how the spine curls and these pieces kind of go in? We've got plenty of space there. So that is all fine. So I'm excited for that. I did go ahead and make my template. You guys have seen me do this 87 million times. There are plenty of videos on my channel. I'll just take my template. It's a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, and I cut out a strip that's 1.5 inches wide, and it's 9.75 inches tall, just like my spine. I marked T at the top. I folded it in half because I want 3 signatures. So I folded it in half, and then I folded the 2 sides into that halfway mark. Okay, and that gave me 3 evenly spaced places for my signatures. And then I folded it in half, and I folded the ends into that halfway mark, and then I folded the ends into that last mark. Okay, so that gives me 5 evenly spaced holes, and then I just marked the intersections of those lines with my pencil so I could see it better. But you do need to make sure that you make a T at the top, because if by mistake you poke the holes in your spine this way and then poke the holes in your signatures this way, they will not match up. No matter how carefully you measured, I promise you, they will not line up. So make sure that you mark it T, and make sure your signatures are oriented the way that you want them. So what I would do is now I will take this, and because I paused the video, I have no idea how long this video has been going. So hopefully once I edit it, it won't be 100 years long. So I'm going to go ahead and find my clips. Where are my clips? Here they are. I'm going to clip this in. So I'm lining up the top and the bottom of the template with the top and the bottom of my covers and my spine, making sure that's in there straight. I can just barely see my cotton batting underneath peeking out right here, so I'm lining this up with that, making sure it's smooth. Grab my other clip. Oop, I just moved it, didn't I? I can't do anything without moving it. Good grief. Yep, that'll work just fine. Grab out my binding stuff. And we'll poke some holes. I love poking holes. So I'm going to put, this is just a really old, like styrofoam piece. I think it was for back in the olden days when we used to poke holes, but not in this lifetime. It's probably 20 years old. So I'm going to put that there. I've got my awl. I like to use my awl for the spine because it makes bigger holes, kind of easier to see. And we'll make some good size holes in there. Making sure it goes all the way through, I can feel it. And what I will do is after we get all these done, I will turn it over and make sure I can see the holes on the other side. I like for my binding strings to be on the outside, so I will start binding from the outside. That's how you end up with your thread tails on the outside. If you want them in the inside, then you start on the inside. So I'm just getting those holes poked in there pretty well. And again, I'm going to fly through this pretty quickly. If you go to any of my Making a Journal videos, I show the 5-hole and the 3-hole pamphlet stitch all the time. So just trying to make this a little less lengthy. I got journaling to do. Okay, so let's see if we can see those holes. That would be best. Don't throw your template away. Oh, they're little black dots in the fabric. That's evil. Okay, so I can feel them. Let's see here. Make sure not to poke holes in your fingers. Here we go. There we go. This fabric is very tightly woven, which is making it hard. But we will survive. I'll go down here and I can feel them right there. Just making them a little bigger. Then after I go through this and make these holes a little bit bigger, oh, I haven't even folded my pages yet. We should probably do that part, huh? I say we will. Okay, so I have one short. I like to do my daily journaling on one page. I don't do a double page spread. So I've got 10 pieces of graph paper because I do glue them together. So 10 pieces will be 5 pages. And I've got 4 of my digital pages from the Snowy Winter Kit that is available for free in my Facebook group. I again will link it right up there if you'd like to come join us. We have freebies almost every week. Sometimes it's just a little bit of journaling stuff. Sometimes it's a full kit. You just never know. Now, I'm putting these in whole, and I just folded them. But this particular page is some really old paper that was kind of torn at the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and tear the white spots out. And I have my little, here's my little Tim Holtz distresser. We'll rough it up a little bit, just for fun. Yeah, I'm sorry for the confusion. It just got all crazy here. I don't even know what happened. So I like how that looks. Kind of rough, kind of old. Tear some out here, just kind of fussy tearing. Trying to get that white out. Oops, I don't want to go that way. Tear away from yourself if you don't want the white rip showing. Tear towards yourself if you do want it showing. In this case, I don't want it showing. So we've got that. And I'll just rough that up a little bit. Gets those little edges curled and stuff. I love that. Looks authentically old. And if you missed any of the white, it covers that up too. Okay, awesome. We got that edge. There's just a little bit right here. I don't want to lose too much. So 10, there we go. Let's just put these together. And I think I want this one to be my first page. Do I? Because I do have my January. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay. So this is going to be our, oh, let me just score these. The spine is kind of, the spine edge is kind of at a weird angle because they were bound into that notebook. So we'll just do that. Okay, so these first 2 pages I'm going to glue together. So this will be my title page and it will say January. I'll turn the page. This will be January 1st. You with me so far? Oops, I just moved everything. Sorry about that. January 1st. This will be January 2nd and 3rd. There go my shaky hands. Hey, you guys, it turns out it's not too much coffee. One of the medications I'm on makes my hands shake, so it's not me. So this is January 2nd and January 3rd. I'm going to alternate, so this will be January 4th. Those will be glued together, so that'll be January 5th. And I'm just doing these in no particular order. Actually, I think I want a grayish one next. So I'm also varying the height of my smaller digital kits. So what did I say? That's like 6 and 7, 8, 9. I think I might be off, but I think you get the idea. 10, 11, 10, and 11. It gets confusing because I haven't glued my composition pages together yet. I think you guys will get it. So this is 12 and 13. This is 14 and 15. And then, because all of those get doubled, that makes it 32 pages. Does that make any sense? I was only counting like the left-hand side, but you have the left-hand side and the right-hand side. That seems very confusing, you guys. I don't know how to explain it any better. Maybe once we get it bound in and I can flip through it, it'll be a little clearer. So this will be the center of our signature. Okay, and I'm going to get that pressed down as hard as I can. Put a clip there and a clip there. Make sure I've got it facing upwards and I've got my digital pages where I want them. Okay, and then I'm going to take my template again and fold it on that center mark. And I'm going to do 2 things this time. Okay, I'm going to mark. Usually I would use an erasable pen, but I don't have any right here. Did I turn that around? What the heck, Brooke? I think I did. I think I don't have my T at the top. Trying to think one step ahead. It's not going to work for me. Oh, okay, so I did turn it around. So there's my T. Put it in this way. Line that up. And I'm going to make some little red marks. Oops. And the reason I'm doing that is because the notebook paper has, or the grid paper, graph paper, there we go, has holes in it from where we pulled it out from the notebook. And sometimes it gets a little confusing about which one to use. And normally for a journal that I was making for someone else, as I said, I would not use bright red flare because, well, it's kind of hard to overlook. But it's just for me. I'll put washi tape over it or something. It'll be fine. Now I've got my pokey tool. I think I'll go ahead and put my template back in. And we'll punch through. And you want to keep your pokey tool going pretty nice and straight. You don't want to go in at an angle because that'll make it harder to sew. And as I said, I'm cheating on this one because I want to get started in this. So I don't have February and March ready to go in the book yet. So I'm just going to buy January in and wing it. This will be the first signature in the book, obviously. And it's a little harder with these bigger pages to hold it the way you want it, but it can be done. Sometimes I hold it in my hand, but it's hard when the page is this big. Let me get a better angle on that. There we go. That's a lot of pages to go through. And then we'll go through that one. You guys, I've started and stopped so many times. I don't even know what I've said and what I haven't said. Apparently it wasn't a good day for, oh, look at that. They didn't line up exactly right, but okay. We'll go with it. So I've got those in there. And what I will do is, it's probably because I let them open all the way. I'm going to put that right in there. And I'm just going to go in and do a regular 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I don't want to take those apart. What do I want to do? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera because I'm totally discombobulated. You guys know how to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. Again, I will link a video down below if you haven't done one before. I've got several on my channel, but I'm going to do this one with you guys paused. Hold, please. Okay, guys, I'm back. We're all sewn in with the whole 5-hole pamphlet stitch done. I got to tell you, I miscalculated on this. This cover is too floppy to also have a floppy spine. I mean, I can certainly deal with it. You just have to kind of wiggle it to get it to lay right. I'm going to go ahead and put a closure on it. I would not make one of these to sell. I love it for myself, but to make another one of these, I would use a firmer cover. I would, put paper on both, like firm paper on both sides, or use cardstock or chipboard or something for the cover. So there you go. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to do my standard little seam binding tie because that seems to be my favorite. So let's go ahead and make a mark. Do we say like 9.75? So the middle is going to be somewhere in the middle. 4.5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and another little bit. I'm going to say it's right about there. That looks halfish. Pencil doesn't want to mark on the Tim Holtz collage medium. So let's go ahead and grab this, switch it over to punch. I'm going to actually set that in a little bit further, just so we don't rip anything out. Okay, so there's our little hole. Go ahead and use that to mark the back as well. Can you guys see how flappy it is? I'll turn it this way to mark the back. Yeah, I love how it looks. It just, I don't know, it's a little too flappy. But it was an experiment, so there you go. Live and learn, right? I'm going to use my red flare again. Boy, I'm going crazy with this thing. Just to be able to see where to punch. Okay. Leaning way back so I can see where our hole is. There we go. And I pulled out a couple eyelets. It took me a minute to find matching ones. So I saved you the pain of watching that. I'm going to go ahead and scoot this all the way up. That's where the masher part is. And line that up. And press slowly and smoothly. Just steady. You don't have to, like, knock yourself out or anything. And look, that split beautifully. Just perfect. I like to take a pair of needle nose pliers afterwards and go ahead and just smash it a little bit more. So if any of those little points are sticking up, it won't be sharp. And we'll do the same on the front cover. Hopefully once I get all 3 signatures in, it'll lay a little flatter. But can you see the covers are curling some because they're thin? So yeah, I think that is my answer is flappy spine or flappy book covers, but not both. That's all right, though. We'll find out how it goes by the end of 3 months. Or I'll hate it and have to make a new one. Whichever. So that looks great. I was thinking about book cover or book corners, but I may not do that. I might just skip that. Okay, so there's that. So let's pull this out, and this is from the Scrap Cabin Shop. She dyes the most beautiful seam binding. And this one is sandstone. That's the color of this one. I will link her down below as well. She does such a beautiful job. And probably about that long. It's not going to get fatter than that, is it? You wouldn't think. So let's cut 2 pieces that long, roughly. About that long. Get that out of our way. Okay, let's see if we can get this threaded through. It's very springy. It's going everywhere. So I'm going to take this, and I'll just take my pokey tool. Instead of trying to twist it up and poke it through, I just find it easier to give it some help. Make sure our ends are even-ish. Can you guys see? My big fingers are in the way. So line those up. And tie a little knot down at the bottom. I like to do that so it doesn't fray and it doesn't get separated, because then it makes it hard to tie the book closed. So we got a little knot down there. That That way, if it does decide to fray, it'll just fray up to the knot, and it looks kind of pretty that way, I think. But I like that color with this. Definitely getting that blue and gray and brown thing going. Yep. Let's go ahead and do the back cover. And then we'll look at the pages one more time so I can try to make you understand the gibberish that I was spouting about why this is the right number of pages. So I've just folded that in half. I'm going to take my little pokey tool, poke that through. Be careful, you don't want to poke a giant hole in your seam binding. Once again, checking to make sure I've really got it in half. Do a nice little lark's head knot. Pull that right through the loop like that. Oh, that color is kind of hard for you guys to see though, huh? Well, hopefully you can see it well enough. Tie a little knot right there. There we go. Let's see if we've got enough to tie. And hopefully once we get some stuff in there and we get all 3 signatures in and I start training it, it will be just fine. Oh, we may have to put different ties in there when it gets fat. For now, it'll do just fine though. There we go. Yeah, see, it needs some training. I do think a lot of it has to do with only having 1 signature in. But for now, I can go and do my first couple pages in January and go from there. Hopefully not be behind. So this will be my opening page. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10, day 11. Oops, did I just get off count? 12, 13, I don't know, maybe 14, 15, and you double that, you've got 30. I think I missed a page, so I think I skipped a page. So got 15 days on this side, and we'll have 16 days on this side, and we'll have 32 days on this side. I just have to now go and glue all my grid paper together. Oh, good. When I glue that together, it will cover up those red marks I made with my flare. Get all that done, and I may put a pocket on to hold my January monthly stickers. Not sure. But I'll come back and show you guys. Sorry again that this was so disjointed. I don't know why everyone in the world needed to talk to me all at once, but I'll paste it together the best I can, and I hope it at least gives you an idea of something different to do for your January or your winter creative daily journal. Thanks for being patient, you guys. It was lovely talking to you, and you have a wonderful day. Bye.